What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Baring Teeth, entitled Ghost Chorus Among Old Ruins. This is released on Willowtip Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Dallas, Texas, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very quirky, dissonant, technical, and progressive style of death metal. My first introduction to this band was back in 2011 with their debut full-length entitled Atrophy. Listening to that album was quite an experience, because this band pretty much brought in a style of death metal that you would best associate with bands like Ulcerate or Gorguts. Very technical, but almost strange in their delivery of sound. And Baring Teeth brought forth their own interesting sort of take on death metal, and Atrophy was just something really special. The music was pretty spastic at times, but yet it broke off into more progressive sort of territories, and I thought they pulled it off very nicely with that album. And 2014 has been a pretty solid year for albums of this sort of variety. Most notably, the new albums from Piron and Artificial Brain, to be specific. And I figured what better way for this year to almost be closing than to bring in another death metal band with that sort of style going for them, like Baring Teeth. And this is their second full-length album, Ghost Chorus Among Old Ruins. It's 8 tracks, and it clocks in at around 37 minutes in length. And this is a much more well-balanced and mature sort of record in comparison to Atrophy. Pretty much, if you're accustomed to what this band's style and sound and approach is, you're going to have a really amazing time listening to this, because there is a lot of great and intelligent musicianship being presented here. Pretty much like the previous record, this album is all about the musicianship. This is a an album that is just chock full of great riffs, great drum work, great bass tone. Definitely an album to showcase some really technical and progressive sort of death metal. The riff work here is just amazing. I love the way that it sounds on tracks like Mountain and Visitant. Pretty much a mixture of some straight-up technical death metal done properly and done with some class. I love the riff work, I love the patterns, I love the technicality. It's very carefully crafted. And even to some of the lengthier tracks on here, where one moment it's straight up technical death metal, and then the riffs verge onto being straight out progressive and very thought-provoking. I just love that aspect of this band. They definitely give you a lot of twists and turns all the way throughout. The bass tone is very technical too, definitely something that stands out a lot with this entire record. Very technical, very clear, very well mixed and balanced, and definitely is suitable for this sort of progressive sort of release. The drums on this album are just wild and crazy. At 1 minute, they can be straight up technical, verging from a lot of fast double bass and blast beats to some quick fills here and there, and then when it comes to the progressive breaks, you just get a lot of intelligent patterns going on within the drumming. I definitely think this drummer is a joy to listen to. He definitely brings a lot of variety to the table here with all of the tracks, notably on songs like Dripping Sun and The Great Unwashes. I just think the drumming on this album is just stellar all the way throughout. And moving on to the vocals, I think the vocals are pretty solid too. Definitely a mixture of low growls, very understandable, well-worded vocals. There's a little bit of a mid-range sort of growl and scream here and there too, something you can easily detect when you pick up the vocal stylings when it's layered together. I think that aspect of the vocals works very well here, but more often than not, this album is dominated by a very well-heard, well-worded sort of guttural growl. Very well done, very articulate, and very intelligent. So overall, if you're a fan of current-day Gorguts, if you're into Ulcerate, if you were a fan of the first Bearing Teeth record, Atrophy, Ghost Chorus Among Old Ruins is another one to be on the lookout for. These guys are definitely making an impact within the style of technical death metal, and definitely something for the progressive fan out there. I would say that this is a somewhat awesome success story. So, if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Mountain, Visitant, Terra Nullius. I believe that's one of the instrumental tracks on here. I believe that's instrumental. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's a great track. The Unwilling. Yeah. I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will link you to the Willowtip Bandcamp where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can buy it digitally, and I will also link you to the Willowtip web store where you can purchase a physical copy. Yeah, definitely something worth owning. So, again, the album is Ghost Chorus Among Old Ruins by Bearing Teeth. This is released on Willowtip Records. Definitely check this out, and I'm going to give this a very solid 8 out of 10. Really impressive technical death metal with some awesome progressive elements. Support Bearing Teeth. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Armijo out.